All About Reading is a curriculum that I have used with all of my kids to some degree, but this is my first time using All About Reading Level 3. And today I thought I would show you a flip through of this curriculum because, to be honest, there's lots of flip throughs on YouTube for like level 1, maybe level 2. There's not so many for level 3. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on the inside, how I've laid it out to use with my child, and hopefully it'll give you some insight as to how it works. Hey, I'm Christine, a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, a second-generation homeschooler myself. I have been in the homeschool space for a very long time, and I love chatting about it, sharing curriculum reviews, curriculum flip-throughs, just general tips and advice, life updates, all those things. So please go ahead and subscribe if that's something you'd like to see more of. But for now, let's check out this curriculum. Right, here are the components that come with All About Reading Level 3. They are split up now because I've obviously made this for my daughter. So this is your teacher's manual, and then you have the readers here. You've got 2 readers, so there's volume 1 and volume 2 here. And then you've got the activity book, which I have taken apart and put into page protectors for each lesson. So I've got all of our things here, and you've got fluency sheets in here as well. So I'll show you a little bit more of that in a minute. And then I also have our word card review box. Now, you can get their word card review box, but that was going to be like $40 for me in New Zealand plus shipping, and that's just too much money. So I got this one from Temu. It was $5 and it fits everything perfectly. So I will try and remember to link it down below for you. It's got that sticker on it because that's the color of this, because I've got several of these boxes for different levels, and so that tells me which level it is. So I just made my own cards here. So you can see they've got phonogram review cards, mastered, future lessons, and then I've got the word cards in here as well. And then I just chucked some sponges in here to keep everything where it needs to be. So that's how that's all set up, and that cost me a heck of a lot less money, and it works really well. It's a very sturdy box, and I can see what's inside, which is so helpful. So let's have a look at things a little bit more in depth. Let's look at the teacher's manual first. Level 3, it's laid out just like the other one. I've used level 1, I haven't used level 2, but it's laid out just the same as level 1. They've got a whole thing about how to prepare, what materials you'll need. See, this is their box that they have. And I do have that one for level 1, but I didn't want to buy another one. So there's all the background about the program. They've got an assessment here so you can make sure your child's in the right level. They have that online as well. And then you've got how to preview everything there. Like your read aloud. There is a read aloud record. I don't keep a very good record of our read alouds, if I'm absolutely honest, but I don't really worry about that because my kids get tons of read alouds. Activity sheets, fluency sheets. It tells you how to use all of these. Here's practice sheet here. And I will also say a great resource is their Facebook group. They're very good at responding to things in there if you have queries about how to use the program. Because as we know, all kids are different, you know, situations are different. So they're great there. And then there are your readers as well. This is the reading box. So when you get it, you get all your cards just in flat sheets, and they're perforated, and you break them up. It's actually quite cathartic. Put on a movie or something and do that. It's quite fun. And then you've got your letter tiles, and your 2 different options are to use the letter tile app or physical letter tiles on a big magnetic whiteboard. There's everything there, how to set everything up. And then here is it, like, gives you an idea of how to do the lessons. In other words, spend 20 minutes per day teaching reading. Lessons often take more than 1 day to complete. That's really important to make note of in this curriculum. It is not 1 lesson a day. Maybe your child will be able to do 1 lesson a day, but that's not how it's intended to be. It's intended to be gone through at the pace your child needs to go through it. And then they highly recommend reading aloud to your child as well. So first of all, you've got, well, this is review here, okay? So these are concepts that were taught in level 2. It gives you your list of materials that you're going to need up here. And then you've got, before you begin, it's going to explain some things there about that. And then your silent E chart, syllable division, and then it goes through and you get to review a bunch of things that were gone over in level 2, just to make sure that your child knows these concepts before you move on, because they are important. Okay, then you move on to lesson 2, and you're going over the sounds of AI and AY and the different sounds that they make. You're going to review any necessary phonogram cards that you need to. When you get to word cards, there will be word cards that you need to review as well. And then you've got your new teaching here. Oh, I do really like this, that they do a review of previously taught concepts here with your letter tiles. I found that really great for my kids. Then you've got your new teaching. So it's review, new teaching. You're going to go through all of that together with your child. Then you have an activity sheet. And then you have practicing reading new word cards. So these are words that are based off of what you just taught today. They've got some leap words. So these are your words that are like rule breakers, that don't follow the rules. They've got a little frog on them. And then you've got a fluency sheet for your child to practice. So that's a lot of material to cover. So that's why you're likely not going to cover it in one day, which is totally fine. So you're going to do that. And then you've got your progress chart they can put a sticker on, which is really fun. Then you're going to move on to the next lesson. And usually they alternate a new teaching lesson with a reading lesson. So in this one, you're going to do some review of the word cards and such, phonogram cards. You will have an activity and you will have a warm-up sheet for your child to read. Now, these warm-up sheets cover words that are going to be in the story your child is about to read. So that's something to be aware of. There's some decoding tips there. And then your child is going to read whatever story is they're referred to. So here it's page 9 in your reader, to train cat. Let's just have a look at that real quick. So here is page 9. This is a story. And I'll just show you how long it is, because as well, you don't necessarily do this all in the same day, because these are longer stories and your child may need to build up to this level. They're going to sit and read this aloud to you though. Okay. And there will be prompts usually for them to you to ask them questions and things like that in the readers. So that is how the lessons are laid out. I've kept this stuffed in here because that's the one we're up to. But that is what it's laid out like. There is an appendix at the back where there's quite a few teaching resources. You've got your scope and sequence, which is very helpful. Your phonograms that are taught in all the different levels. I have referred to this, and this has been helpful for me. Blending procedures. There's a lot of hand-holding helpful tools for you as the teacher here. There's often different games and activities that you can do with your child if you need to have more review options. So it really does have a lot of helpful things in there. So let's have a look now, I think, at the activities. And as I said, I took ours all apart and I like to cut them out so that it's just more open and go for us. I have multiple children using All About Reading, and I don't have time to sit and wait for them to cut out all the activity pieces. I don't have time to sit and do that myself. And so I like to rather spend a couple of evenings going through the entire book and prepping it so that it is done. And it's done now for all of my kids I can sit and do this with. I don't have to, redo it for every child, because you can definitely reuse these. So like I said, I use one page protector for each lesson, so I can just look at the top of the page. See, it says lesson 1 there, and so that makes it very easy for me to grab and go. And it's the same for each one. So lesson 2, you've got your fluency sheets and your practice sheets and activities. They're all like that. And there are fun hands-on activities. Like this one, they had to do a floor plan of a room, and my daughter really enjoyed that. So there are flip books, which are great. Quite a few of those. Loads and loads and loads of different games where they can practice what they're being taught. I have this in a big file, and I just cut off the front of the book to put up here so I can see what it is. And then let's look at the readers quickly together. So All About Reading Level 1 came with 3 readers. This only comes with 2. And obviously the stories are a lot longer than All About Reading Level 1, which makes sense because we're a couple levels into it now. But this is volume 1. And there are multiple stories in here. Colorful, engaging stories, which I think are just lovely. And the books are such good quality. They're hardback, and I really like them. so withstand the rough use from children at times. So that is your first volume, and then this is the second volume, which says Shipwreck, a collection of short stories. And in here you've got more beautiful colors. Hedgehog, lamb. So those are what your reader things look like, and that's it. Those are all the components that I have, aside from the letter tiles, which we use the letter tile app. We don't use the physical letter tiles. So I don't have anything to show you there, but there's like a letter tile pack you can get, or like I said, we just use the letter tile app. I find that a lot more efficient to use for my kids, but I hope that was helpful. I hope that was insightful for you. If you do have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.